The environment has to be
What we are saying is have a heart.
We've got to be able to regenerate our
There'll
economy.
be people who are kind, people who are cruel, but that's life. You can be passionate about pigeons. I'm fine with that.
I would like to move into a very important area which we haven't discussed. We were talking of a drug addiction, but I think there's an equivalent of drug addiction among gamblers, and they actually likened online gambling to the crack cocaine of the internet, because it is easily available anywhere, anytime. It is continuous, and you can play it without having the even without money. They can give you credit and all that. So I want to discuss how serious a problem this is in Singapore, online gambling. We've already spoken of a figure, about 300 million is leaving Singapore with gamblers. I don't think that this is the end of the story. How serious is the problem in Singapore, online gambling?
I mean, among my clients, I think probably about half of them have been involved in online gambling. You know, I have one hawker who sells dark rice. You know, before he came to my center, you know, every night, say once he close his store, he will go back. He will bathe. The first thing he did is open his computer and then go online gambling until the next morning. So he say maybe he'll sleep for about 2 hours. So every day he earns about $1,000, 1,000 plus.
That's from the dark rice, not from the gambling.
It doesn't have the same thing.
Yeah, the dark rice
True, it doesn't have the same thrill.
but he, of course, he lose more than he spent in club. That's why he ended up in my center. He borrowed a lot from loan sharks, money lenders, and all that. They were chasing him, and then he came to my center. So some of them, yeah, the younger set will get more involved.
Oh yeah,
Online gambling, the younger set.
I think I need to correct you on that. For the online gambling, operators don't lend money to the gamblers if they are borrowing.
The credit card companies do.
Well, technically speaking, they are running down their credit card because they are charging the use of it. So in that sense, the online casino operators don't lend money. It's a losing proposition for them. If they lend, they can never recover. They will never lend.
I lend and then they go bankrupt. I can't get it.
But this seems to be a very dangerous habit that is being picked up. And there was a survey in 2012 that showed that online gamblers fare the worst among all gamblers in exercising self-control. And that 1/3 of the respondents said that they played longer than they had originally intended to, and they stayed longer playing than they originally intended to. So it is even more addictive than other forms of gambling. Have you indulged in, I don't mean to,
no, for me,
not online gambling?
during my time, there's no online gambling.
Okay.
So I'm not into that.
But how serious is this a problem in Singapore?
Well, as far as our statistics are concerned, we are having like 45% easily. 45% of the claims coming to seek help at our center. It's just a 5%.
Is this a recent development, or?
It has always been there for quite a while, or at least for the last 3 years. Yeah.
But why would it come together with the casinos? Because online gambling could have been offered long before casinos.
Yes,
It was there for a long time.
Yeah. Online gambling is very easily accessible. Now, if you have a handphone, if you have a computer, you can do it even in the restroom. Yeah. Okay. And because of the convenience of accessibility, for that matter, well, it's fast catching up in terms of people being involved in this kind of addiction. If you have to go all the way to the casino, you need to travel from one place to another unless you live within the hotel itself. And so a lot of these factors affect why we are seeing more online gamblers. And you may be asking, even if what would it be effective if the government were to introduce measure like those credit terms being offered now, and if they want to introduce something like having an age limit, and so people who are below 21 will not have access. But you'll be surprised, you know why? A 15-year-old boy can actually go online to gamble as long as he can find someone called a bookie to provide him an account, and he can actually gamble through him. If he wins, the bookie pay him. If he lose, he pay to the bookie.
How does the bookie collect?
They will have- in person, or through bank accounts, iBanking.
They're much faster and more efficient than our big three banks. If you make a bet online, within an hour, or the bookie can be at your door, the runner can be at your door to collect.
Physically?
Yes. Or or give you the password of which account to send money to. But more often than not, physical money transactions do take place.
Is there a particular demographic that is more inclined towards online gambling?
Younger
Younger
age group, male.
Chinese?
Orange.
Online gambling is very addictive, from what I can understand from my client. Because I asked him, is it so addictive? He said, yeah. He said, when I go online to bet on football matches,
But they are football fans, right?
they're
Those
football
people.
fans, so they have the live telecasts will be on, the few football matches, and then when there's a score, they shout, and then he will, wow, my team score, he also will jump out and shout, and then the other side.
Don't make it sound so exciting.
I said, wow, at the same time, the other side, my team score again. So, wow, it's such a thrill. It's
what
what a
happens.
euphoria.
Yes, but they are football fans and they enjoy the game.
No, not all are football fans.
all are
You gamble, then
Yeah.
you feel
Yeah.
thrilling.
I've seen gamblers who I asked them what league are you? Say what league did you last bet on? They tell me, oh, last week it was a Lithuanian league. I said,
Yeah,
Lithuanian league. You know what teams are between? Oh, you got to do research on it.
Wow.
So it does not really matter what it is. The thrill is about the
Yes.
gaming
We are
and
talking
the
about,
betting.
sports betting. There are
Yes,
various
sports betting.
categories.
And
of
there are
online.
legal sports betting as well, right?
Singapore pools provides
Yes.
sports betting.
Yeah.
Score.
Okay.
The
There's
online
sports
system.
betting and there are casino style.
There's casino games.
Slot machines.
There's
and
poker.
There are poker. Poker is really a platform where you don't play with the operator, you play with each other. But that one is very dangerous because it has a lot of what they call sharks. Sharks like to play in the pond where there are a lot of small fishes. So whenever the online casinos or poker operators talk about this, they talk about liquidity, poker liquidity. This is a term used where the amount of bet that is being placed. If this room, because for
You
example,
sound very experienced.
because I advise on all this. So you simulate as if that we are in a physical room, but imagine this is to be virtual. So each room you may have 10 players or 5 players, and if the room can have a lot of small fish and the big sharks come, the big sharks can be fishing against the small fish.
And they are professionals.
It's not only professional. These days you can actually have multiple computer terminals, and you may be masquerading as 5 fellas playing against one small fish. So you know all your cards. So when you throw, you can be winning or losing against each other, but the small fish doesn't know. He thinks that he's fishing. So that's why there are calls for regulated internet operators and those that are not regulated. The regulated ones are subject to all these check and balance, and before they can get their license renewed, you want to make sure that all this fraud are prevented, all the age verification is there.
Do we have that already?
No,
Because
in
I
Singapore we don't
understand
have.
No.
There's no
some
laws
countries have.
governing
So,
online banking in Singapore, right?
Online gambling, no.
Online gambling.
Or online gambling. There are no laws
not in
on
Singapore.
online
Not
gambling
yet,
in
not in
Singapore.
Singapore.
Singapore. Not as
the
yet,
consultation paper that the government has is to propose a complete ban.
yeah.
You're talking
It's
about it.
complete ban.
Yes, yes.
So you actually, when you look,
Possibly one exception.